love dealing with teenagers because you can have adult conversations with them. And I don't mean that in terms of adult content, I mean in terms of adult logic. It's exciting dealing with people who are really starting to think about the world outside of their own for the first time. And the fact that I can share the excitement of finding stuff out, of discovering things, and hopefully share some of that passion about curiosity with them at an adult level, that's really exciting.
I like kids that are a little bit tougher and a little bit more resilient and that you can actually work with on an adult level almost. And I feel like I relate better to them on that level, and so it's kind of like I can get on a similar level as the kids in an odd sort of way, and we can interact in a positive way, and I find it conducive to
I don't know what it is. It's those people in middle school. I love 8th graders. They are wild. I'm a little wild, I think, sometimes. My personality, their personalities go well together. There's just a difference, in the ups and downs, and I can deal with their ups and downs, I think, fairly well, and understand that person that's behind that emotion. I think that many people think that it's tougher. I love it. And I don't usually say that I love it, but it is the place that I feel best, and they are very rangy. They do emotionally go from this range to that range in a matter of a day, in a matter of a period, in a matter of 2 minutes. So I can work with that. They can work with my range too, because I can do the same thing. I think I do sometimes the same thing.
Every level is important, especially now seeing my son at the elementary and seeing those teachers and what they accomplish. But for me, it allows me to take the thing I'm passionate about in social studies, history, and government, and use that as a vehicle. I mean, I know not every kid's going to be a historian. I mean, not every kid's going to be a political scientist. But at the same time, I can kind of take my passion and then find that way to make a connection with each kid. It's like every parent conference I hear parents say, oh, when I was in high school, I hated history, but I love it now. And it's trying to make sure that I can maybe get that going a little earlier and get them a little bit more civically minded now.
I really enjoy teaching elementary level because students are like sponges. They just want to soak up knowledge. They're interested in so many different things, and the ones that don't know what they're interested in will seek out knowledge and will seek that information from a teacher. And it's really heartwarming when you can touch on something or help them find their passion for learning.
But I think what really draws me right now to middle school, and did with my initial move to middle school 4 years ago, was the idea of working with older kids. Not necessarily that they could do more, but I wanted to experience what it would be like to work with them and get to know them and understand how they think, how they do things, their sense of humor, how they interact with one another. So, it was kind of nice because as Ryan got older, I could move grades and get a better feel for what he was going through in classes. And so the transition to middle school for me just seemed like a natural step to, in preparation for him growing older, but also because I really wanted to get to know those kids at that age and see how they were.
I teach mostly freshmen. That's where my focus has been for the past 7 years. And I really enjoy that age as well. It's kind of a transition year. It's really a big growth year. They're high schoolers, so they're young adults, and but they're still just trying to figure it out. And I feel like I can have more of a positive impact on that age than as they get older. They've got it figured out. Those juniors and seniors, they've got their plan and they know what they need to do, and they don't need as much guidance.
There's more wrestling, and it's more interesting, it's more vibrant. I think more creative stuff happens. I like the fact that they need to be convinced. I think that is what makes it challenging, and that's why I like it. It's frustrating and difficult and sometimes depressing, but it's always exciting. Students, young people want to be convinced that what they're doing is worth doing. Watching somebody discover their own abilities anywhere, at any level in education, is amazing. because we also know what that's like because we were students too. So to watch somebody go, wait a minute, I can do this, is a wonderful thing to be around, and very affirming.
I really would love to be a kindergarten teacher, a first grade teacher, second, high school kids, all children. I don't have an age group that I would not want to have the opportunity to be a teacher with. Every student, every child that comes in front of me, I love it. And that's the job that I'm in now and the job that I had last year, what an incredible experience to teach first graders, second graders, third graders, fourth graders. Today I did a model lesson for a first grade classroom. I'm blending sounds, making words, and then I was in a fifth grade classroom doing practice with summarizing, cause and effect, and had a great time with fifth graders. And every time I walk out of a room, I'm always like, gosh, I really like that age.
I like the challenge of the students and especially the subject area having a little bit more complexity. And in the lower grade levels, there's just not quite that complexity. There's a huge amount of information you have to be an expert at to be an elementary or middle school teacher. But I like having the opportunity to use kind of my specialized knowledge in chemistry.
They're ready to make that jump. They're still kids, but they're ready to make that jump into adulthood. And to be part of that is really kind of cool to see their ideas and how they develop, and then you start talking about where they want to go, and it's so valuable and rewarding at that level in the high school.
In high school, there is the ability to push kids a little bit harder than you would normally. And that has been something that has appealed to me. So the ability the expectation to ask kids to meet a goal, and then once they have, say, that's great. Now let's take it another step further. What else can you do?